Welcome, everyone, to Friday's Inspiration. I am back in Southern California. Hang on, let me just do a quick little clean, make sure that's all nice and clean. Great. So today we are talking about something really exciting. At least it's exciting to me. We are going to be clearing some past life karma with some of the most powerful families on the planet. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kimberly Sherry. I am an international energy alchemist. I've been working in the healing arts since the late 70s. So since I was about 2, no, I'm just kidding. Long time. At any rate, today we are going to be talking about clearing karma. So when I first discovered that I had past lives with the Rothschild family, that was the first family I discovered I had past lives with. This was 5 years ago. This was 5 years ago, and I had been watching a video online that just got me the right way or the wrong way and was very, very disturbing about how they owned almost all the banks on the planet. Somehow I didn't know this. And so there were only 3 countries at the time that they were trying to govern over. And so there was something about that was just so disturbing. It made me feel really powerless, really helpless, that I went up on the mountain and I decided to go and meditate. And what I discovered was that up until this time, we had been clearing out to the 15th layer of our aura. And then I would say, clearing up to the 15th and then beyond. But what I didn't realize was that I was actually jumping over that 15th layer. And it was on that day in 2017 that I discovered that in this 15th layer was where the 1%, which is not a literal number, it is basically an energy. This is the energy that is controlling the entire planet. So it could be broken down into 13 bloodlines. I'll tell you who those are in just a moment. But it could also be even broken down even into a smaller segment, which I'll also talk about. So who are these 13 families? Some of these are very familiar to you, and others maybe not so much. So the ones that you're going to be the most familiar with are the ones like the Rothschild family, the Rockefellers, the Onassis family, Kennedys, the Astor family, all very, very wealthy families. And then some of the lesser known ones, the DuPont family, Collins, the Bundy family, the Freeman family, Li Li, which is a Chinese family, the Reynolds family, the Van Dun, Dun, and one that I did not know about until after I left Jehovah's Witnesses was the Russell family. Now that's significant to me because Charles Taz Russell, he was the founder of Jehovah's Witnesses back in the late 1800s. And I had no idea that he was one of these 13 families until I left Jehovah's Witnesses. And the majority of these families, if not all of them, are also part of the Freemasons, which is, there's a whole secret society stuff around that. And Charles Russell was also a Freemason, very well known. So you can call this theories if you want. I'm going on the premise that this is true because I've measured the truth in this. And so that's how I decide what to believe personally, is based on maybe things I read, but then I measure the truth of it. So you can do your own research and decide what you'd like. And but today we're going to be clearing karma. So when I originally cleared my karma with the Rothschild family, back in 2017, there's a few things that I really noticed. So one was there was a lot of threat energy in my energy field as I was clearing out these past lives. And there was also a lot of energy right at the throat. Now, if you think about the fact that the throat is the most common place where we can be killed, there's a bunch of ways you can get killed. You can have your throat slit, you can do the guillotine, you can get hung, your neck can get broken, on and on and on. So many of us hold a lot of trauma right at the throat where, and this is still, this threat energy is still being used today, which is why so many people are afraid to speak up. They're afraid to go against the ruling forces. And I measured that about 95% of humanity has unresolved karma with these 13 families. So this is going to be very, very powerful. And I know some of you are wondering, like, how does this actually work? The mechanics of it are, I don't know if you would call it mysterious. It's a well-known scientific fact that just placing our attention on something can change the physiology of it. So that's quantum mechanics, and that's how we're going to be working on this today. So I have some gifts that have been given to me that have much more heightened awareness than most people. This is how I'm able to measure vibrational frequencies of all kinds of things. I do a report where I measure more than 50 different calibrations for people. And this is without ever speaking to them, knowing anything about them. And I just tap into your energy field, measure these things, and the most common response is, you nailed it. So this is a gift, and that doesn't make me better than anyone. You actually all have these capacities, these abilities, but we've forgotten. We've forgotten that we have these gifts. And these families, this energy, this 1% energy, I'm lumping all 13 families into this 1% energy. That there was a thought I had there, that these 13 families are very keen on controlling everyone and everything. And they've got a bunch of agendas that are still trying to play out. Now, how would you feel if you had unresolved karma with this family? So with any of these families. So number one, you're going to be in a lot of fear. Like when you have unresolved karma with someone, you reenact the same things over and over. So if we've been killed by any of these families, it's no doubt because they put us in fear of stepping into our power, fear of stepping into our gifts, our knowing. And then they put all this threat energy. So if you feel this overwhelming fear of speaking up, of going against these families, of stepping into your own gifts, chances are you have unresolved karma with this family. So 95, that would include 95% of you have unresolved karma. So that's why this is really important that we clear these energies so that we can start operating more fearlessly. Now, I know that after I cleared these energies in myself, I was much less fearful about stepping forward, speaking out, stepping into my gifts, and doing what I'm meant to do at this time on the planet to help people ascend, help people move through this massive transition that we're going through. So right now, there is, I'm just thinking, it hasn't been decided yet what timeline the global consciousness has chosen just yet, because it still can go either way. Now, there are some controlling forces that are beyond these families, that are even more powerful than all of this. However, universal laws do not allow them to interfere with humanity. So humans have to figure this out as far as what that means to step into our power, to really own our gifts. But if we have all of this stuff in the way, it makes it really hard to step into our power. Now, just talking about all this, notice if this makes you afraid. Does this make you fearful? Like, does it make you anxious inside and causing a lot of anxiety and fear? Well, that's good. That's a good sign, because that means you're starting to get triggered with these things that are these energies that are about to get cleared with us. So I'm curious if any of you have any ideas or concepts that maybe you wonder if you're part of this unresolved karma. Here is also where you can get that vibrational altitude report. I highly suggest this if you wonder where you are on the vibrational spectrum. I include all the energies that are creating any misalignment or where you're not at your highest vibration. I tell you where all the blocks are. So if you're a healer, you could potentially use this report to go in and clear what's not aligned. It comes with a 30-minute conversation where we could check and see, were you successful at clearing the energies? And if not, or if so, how much? What's left? And if you're someone who has no idea about energy clearing, this is all very foreign to you, there's options in there on how I can help you as well. So here is a comment. I can't believe it. Ever since I started this job a year ago, I thought I am working for the 1%. I am working for the DuPont family. Exactly. One of the 13 Illuminati families. And my granddad did sell their paints too. Interesting. Yes. So you no doubt have some karma with the DuPont family. So I had about 10 past lives, unresolved past lives. So it doesn't really matter how many past lives you've had. What's more important is how many are unresolved. It's the unresolved lifetimes that we keep trying to clear over and over. And you might even notice this in relationships in your own life. Now, people tend to go through lifetime after lifetime with a core group of people, and they change roles in these different lifetimes. So one lifetime, your mother might be your sister, or a good friend, or maybe your father, or maybe your daughter, or so they travel through these, like it's kind of like a core pod, and then the roles change. However, if you have unresolved karma, unresolved lifetimes, you're going to come back, like say with your mom. If you have some unresolved lifetimes where you always felt controlled by her, maybe in another lifetime, she was your husband and very controlling and made you afraid. And now you're doing the whole thing all over again in this lifetime. By doing what we're about to do, this energy clearing, this is an energy hack. So we're going to shortcut so that you don't have to keep going through these lifetimes with these 13 families. You don't have to keep going through this over and over, lifetime after lifetime, where we keep coming back. We're enslaved again. We have under a lot of fear and anxiety, and we can't step into our power. We won't need to keep coming back to do that if we take advantage of this shortcut and this hack to clear these unresolved lifetimes. Now, you don't have to understand how this works in order for it to be effective. So, Jalpa, let's see. You have to say, you told me at one time in past lives we were part of these families. So, surely, reason I am here for this clearing. Excellent. Yes. Well, about 95% of people on the planet today have unresolved karma with these families. So, this is why they've been so effective at creating so much fear because it's familiar to people. And then they can just do it again and again. And then they create all these agendas like global warming so that they can create emergencies that are all related to global warming. So that's a global thing. They can control the whole globe that way. Big pharma is another one of these umbrella things that's used to control the whole planet. One thing you might not know, this might be new to you, is that this can all be narrowed down even smaller to know that the entire planet is controlled by 3 corporations. If you didn't know this, one is Washington, D.C., that is the military hub of the planet. The City of London, which is another corporation, which is not London City, that's a different thing. And then the Vatican. So the Vatican is not part of Rome, it's not part of Italy. Washington, D.C. is not part of the United States, and the City of London is also not part of England. So each of these have their own laws, their own rules, their own military, their own thing. Nobody can basically touch them. So this is what's basically controlling the planet right now. And the more of us that get out from under this karma, the less fearful you're going to be to step into your power. And the more of us that are doing that, the less control they have over us. And we're not going to fall victim to all of these games that they're playing with humanity, with our health and wellness, with our sanity, with everything. And we'll be able to stand more firmly in our power. Cindy, I spent 15 years working at JP Morgan. Maybe I have karma with them. I'm sure you do. 95% of people have past life karma with these families. Without further ado, I think we should go ahead and clear this karma. And so one of the things I want you to notice is, first of all, how this makes you feel in your body. Like, does it make you feel afraid? Like I'm starting to feel like, because I can tap into your energy, I'm starting to feel like some sadness coming up. And this might be emotional for some of you. If it is, just let it flow. And here's another comment. Is there a way we can use the different flames to clear the COVID or any mandatory vaccinations? Let's see. I do not know because the biggest part of the vaccination, that is the harmful part, is that it's altered your DNA. So you'd have to do things that repair the DNA. This is something that maybe we could save for another video. I do know my mentor, Mas Sajadi, he does have a 3-part series that is designed to change your genome. He deconstructs you and then reconstructs your DNA. So that is not something that I have tried yet. And the main thing is that you don't continue to participate in their controlling agenda. So it's all part of the depopulation agenda, where they are trying to decrease the population to a small enough number that is manageable for them. I think the Georgia Georgia something stone monument that tells exactly how many millions of people that they want left on the planet. So even if it's only down to 1 billion, that's a lot of fatalities. And so they have this agenda, but the more of us that are not participating, and if you've already started to participate, that you stop participating. All right. Let's see what else we have. No other comments. Okay. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to walk you through a meditation. It's called Running Your Energy. So this is a process that's outlined in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, The Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence, available on Amazon. And this book outlines the whole infinity system. So part of the system, the part that clears the energies, the part that maintains these higher vibrations, is this process we're going to go through now called running your energy. It's a practice that you can do. Here's the book. It's a practice that you can do, this 20-minute meditation. I suggest every single day. Some people do it twice a day as a way to set the energy at the beginning of the day and a way to clear energies at the end of the day. So this particular process, it can change and it can become a little different. Here's the 20-minute meditation based on your intention. So that's the fascinating thing about this process, is that you can clear your energy and then you come to this practice with a whole new agenda, a whole new intention, and you'll find all new energies. So today we're going to primarily focus on clearing unresolved karma with these 13 families. So all the energies that are starting to show up is what our intention is going to clear today. So as I check now, for those of you who are on the call, like what percentage of you have unresolved karma with this family? I checked before I got on, it was 95%, but that was for the whole planet. Let's check for those of you who are coming on today and also out into the future. 100%. That's of course it is. That's why you've been called here today. So if you're listening to this, whether it's now or out into the future, you have unresolved karma with these families. And so we're going to clear that today. And so please be sure to share this with your friends, with your family, with anybody that you know, because chances are they have unresolved karma. And so especially if they're operating in a lot of fear and they're just sort of following along like sheeple and just jumping through all the hoops. So here is the, thank you for sharing this, Roma, the vaccine after effects that my mentor, Masajati, has done. And so that's a great place to access that. And it's a 3-part series. I think it's $100, but totally worth it. And so if you haven't, if you have done the vaccination, and especially if now you regret it, or now you've done your research, or now you have had some bad effects from it and you don't want to participate in it anymore, this would be a good process for you to go through. If you are still afraid or you are still fighting for this agenda, then don't do it, because he will let you know that it will mess you up even more. So I trust that those of you who are here, either you have not participated, or if you have, you are not going to continue and you'd like some help, that would be a great thing to try. All right, so now we're going to go through the process of running your energy with the intention of clearing past life karma with these 13 families. So we're going to start by getting ultra grounded. So first, we're going to use our free imagination. We're going to imagine a big line of energy, maybe like as big, a big pipe going from the base of your spine all the way to the center of the planet. We're going to make it nice and fat to accommodate all the energies that are related to this. Could be a lot. So now we have a really good grounding cord from the base of your spine all the way to the center of the earth. Now I want you to imagine roots going down from the bottoms of your feet, and it intermingles, going down maybe hundreds of miles. It intermingles with this communication layer below the surface of the earth into pure darkness with the mycelium, the fungus, the roots, also connecting with the crystalline grid below the surface of the earth. So you have pure darkness and you have pure light energy. Allow those roots to wrap around the entire planet. And then from here, that very secure ball of energy, we're going to start bringing all of that feminine, abundant earth energy up through the bottoms of your feet. So many of you, that energy is stopping right there at the bottoms of your feet. So you're not able to feel safe and secure on our planet. As we bring this energy up through the ankles and the calves, maybe it's clearing some of that unused adrenaline, up through the knees, and then through the thigh. And then when it gets to the grounding cord, it's going to go down the grounding. So you have a loop of energy up your legs and down the grounding. Take a deep breath. Excellent. Now we're going to see if you have a worry circle. It's a circle of energy that radiates around the root chakra. So right now it's out to the third layer. This is where you have this fear. So we're just going to pull this circle in, and we're going to dump all of that fear down the grounding cord, down your grounding. So this circle holds fear, anxiety, doubts, uncertainty, a lot of anger. And so if you feel anxious, this is a very simple thing you can do any time of the day to pull the circle in and just dump all that energy down the grounding. Okay, great. The fourth and final part to getting ultra grounded, this fourth step is not in my book. It's that new because the infinity system is a living system. It's always changing, morphing, growing. So Spirit has now directed that we're to ground the heart, not bringing the grounding cord up, but we're bringing the heart energy down. So let's make sure that this heart is 100% open. Yes, it is. And so now we're going to bring this luminous energy of the heart and we're going to bring it down into, so it's coming down into the solar plexus. It's stopping right there. Can you notice that big pit, that feeling of maybe you want to just throw up energy right at that solar plexus? A huge ball of fear. So fear is designed to stop you. And so no doubt this family has been using fear for a very, very, very long time. Let's go out to the third layer. And so one of the energies that they use several energies. They use fear entities. They use control beings. Right here at the solar plexus, there are control beings. About 20. So we're going to use a big black flame. So black, we're using pure darkness, just like the energy that's below the surface of the earth, very transformative energy. If you think about the fact that everything, and I mean everything on the planet, is birthed from this fungus, this mycelium layer that creates decomposition. It decomposes everything on the planet that can decompose. The roots and the mycelium are responsible for all of this decomposing. It's also where everything is birthed from this mycelium fungus, intelligent layer of communication, pure darkness. So this is the energy that we're using with this black flame, is pure darkness. So imagine a big black flame right at your solar plexus. You can feel the language of light for those of you who are new. This is an energy, it's a frequency that comes through that helps to accelerate and amplify what we're doing here. So you guys imagine the big black flame right at your solar plexus. Oy na maya ke a maya totomo kuya. E anata paka umoya na yeta a papa na kuya. E maya ke a toto guapa e naye umoya tatayaka. All right, so we're still grounding the heart energy. So as we bring this heart energy down through the solar plexus, okay, it's still stopping there. So there's a new energy that we've discovered that's even stronger and more powerful than this control beings. And this is the watcher energy. So the control beings are kind of stationed out at the 30th layer. All the way up to the 50th layer of our aura is this new energy that's been discovered called the watcher energy. So we're going to use a rainbow flame right at the solar plexus. This is what Spirit is directing now. We're going to use that rainbow flame right at the solar plexus so that we can stop being afraid, so that we can step into our power. If you're a leader helping others, you cannot operate through fear. If you're leading others, helping others, we have to operate fearlessly. So let's use this rainbow flame right at the solar plexus. Oe namaye, e anata o kumoye pa, e na te aquama ai, na te kumuyo. Ianaya, a papa, na ke o tu muy, a papa, e kinaya, a anea tu muy, e aye. Let's see if we can ground the heart now as we bring this heart energy down into the solar plexus. There we go. Down into the second chakra, spilling down the root. Okay, so now we are ultra grounded. Breathe into this powerful alignment. Okay, so next, we're going to start connecting with pure source energy above our creative rings that are stacked above our head. This pure source energy, we're going to start bringing down through our creative rings that are stacked above the head. And if you get lost with any of this, the illustrations in the book will help you to visualize this better if you want to come back and listen to this again. So as we're bringing pure source down through the creative rings that are recalibrating your dreams and your desires for stepping into your power fearlessly, courageously, as you help other people do the same, we're bringing pure source down through your creative rings into the crown. So it's stopping right at the crown. This is where we get our personal permission. It's no accident or mistake that it's stopping right here at the crown. All the way out to the 50th layer. This is the watcher energy. They want to own the sovereignty of all people on the planet because they want to own us. This is a set up as a slavery planet. And however, this whole agenda can shift and change when enough of humanity steps into their power and their sovereignty. And it takes far fewer people that are all on this agenda than you might realize. We don't need the majority of the planet to be in their sovereignty for these families to lose their control. So let's go, we're going to imagine a big circle, a rainbow circle of flame around here, and it's going to go all the way out to the 50th layer. So just imagine that this flame has enough intelligence to know how to transmute this energy right at your crown. So you can imagine this rainbow flame. Oya na mai e amapo ko oya na te amaye te tiana kai po ko moyo tutua e nai e amopo ko mai na e I apa ya ne o ko moyo. Hai na ko mo papa e ne ti ya ko moya mapa e te tanaye o kama aya. As we're bringing pure source down through the crown, down through that sixth chakra where it's stopping. So this is where all of the beliefs that have been used to control humanity, causing us to forget that we know how to self-generate love, that we know how to have access to an infinite amount of intelligence, 360 degrees around us, 360 senses. Whew. So as we're bringing pure source down through the sixth chakra, all the way up to the 50th layer. So here again, this watcher energy, so we're going to use a rainbow flame. Let that project out to the 50th layer to transmute all of these beliefs that are lies, that are keeping humanity in a fog under their spell. So this is clearing a bunch of spells right here in that sixth chakra. Oi na na e maya ke o mota ya papa e ne tio ko moyo wa papa. E na te ya ne o kumo ya ta papa e na te ya. Let's see if we can bring pure source down through that sixth chakra. There we go. Down into the throat where it's stopping again. A lot of death energy here, a lot of threat energy. Don't speak up, don't speak the truth, or you will die. So let's clear this threat energy here. So right at the throat, all the way out to the 50th layer. And again, we're going to use a rainbow flame as we transmute all of this control, fear of speaking up, fear of speaking your truth, and all the death energy that is settled here. Maybe you have thyroid issues because of all this threat energy that's settled at the throat. Oya ma papa na ye ana ko ama papa na te ki na ye. Oi tama ke aya papa kumuyo tu na ye payaka. Ana ta te na mi yo kumuto ya. Aye ma papa moyo kokaya. Okay, as we're bringing pure source down through the throat now, down into the heart, where it's stopping again, all the way out to the 50th layer. I have a feeling it's going to be in the 50th layer all the way down. All right, at the heart, if you realize that these bloodlines, this controlling energy on the planet, which is mostly reptilian energy, they operate with no heart. So this is how they're able to do the heinous things that are happening on the planet, most of which people are clueless about because they can't handle the truth. They can't handle what's really going on. It is so horrible. So here at the heart, because we have hearts, we have heart energy, we have compassion, we have love. All of this energy is kryptonite to these darker energies. As we remember and we remember the possibilities, the infinite possibilities that happen right here at the heart. Tickliest nose today. Okay, so as we're bringing pure source down through the heart, there we go, down into the solar plexus where it's stopping, all the way up to the 50th layer. I'm going to use this rainbow flame again, transmuting all of the fear and all of the anger and rage that they channel through us. This is what they eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They survive on lower vibrating energies of fear, anger, anxiety, terror. So we're going to pull in all of this energy right at the solar plexus. And let's also use a black flame. So as we've pulled in this energy, the third layer, there's some control beings here. We're going to use a black flame right at the solar plexus to transmute. Huina maye na tataye na ki amoyo poyo to na tataye na yea o moya kaya na tataya papea na tiyo kumoyo. All right. Let's see if we can bring pure source down through the solar plexus now, down into that second chakra. Excellent, spilling down the root. So now we're vertical. Breathe deeply into this powerful alignment. You're connected way up high to pure source. You're rooted deeply into our Mother Earth. Feel how secure and safe that feels. Really anchor that. Now we're going to mix these two energies, that earth energy coming up the legs, pure source coming down the backside. We're going to start mixing these two energies. We're going to bring it up the front, real close to the spine, through the second and the third, and the heart, where it's stopping. Goes out to the third layer. There's some more control beings here, so let's use a black flame right at the center of the heart. Boyanaye na papaye na kuyanaye na tia poko moya paye na teaye na ye omoya na kea a na tia ke imaya tu moya ke anatataya oinaye ma kea o tunaye paya na tia te kea ma pea. Just bringing a lot of fearless energy, courageous energy into the heart. As we're bringing this energy up through the heart now, into the throat, into that sixth chakra, into the crown, and all of your rings. Let this pure energy cascade down through all the layers of your aura. Excellent. The aura looks nice and clear. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure your circle of reciprocity is clear, which means we're going to start at the heart. We're going to bring this heart energy out your right arm, so it comes out that right shoulder. This is the masculine, giving, implementing arm. If you're going to be operating fearlessly, you're going to need to implement a few things. As it comes out the right arm, let's put the fingertips together so that the energy can flow out the right arm into the left receiving hand and arm so that you can self-generate love as it comes out that right arm in the left, completing the circle as it reaches your heart. So that's the circle of reciprocity, out the right arm in the left. This is how you energetically receive. And then it's going to simultaneously pass through the front and back of your throat, through the front and back of the sixth chakra, through the crown, through all of your rings. Excellent. I'm going to measure a few things just to make sure that we're nice and clear with these energies. Let's measure the energy of fear. Still 15%, so we want that all the way to 0. We're going to go to the root chakra, out to the second layer. Let's pull in this fear. Let's identify the fear first. One is a fear of not doing enough, and fear of displeasing others. So these are some of the fears that they use to control you. If you're afraid of displeasing them, also fear of death. Nobody wants to die, right? But some people are terrified of the thought of dying or death. And that can be a very powerful controlling force if you have that fear. So let's also drop that fear down the grounding cord so you can step into more of this powerless energy, or powerful, excuse me. Releasing the powerlessness. Okay. And that fear of dying. Okay, so now fear is at 0. Let's also measure the energy of anger. It's at 50%. So at 50%, you're not going to feel angry, but you're going to feel very annoyed, frustrated, irritated, maybe a little judgmental of yourself or of others. It's kind of that kind of annoying buzz that's in the background. This is plenty of energy to feed them. And it's how most people spend their day operating at this level of anger. Very hard on the nervous system, and it keeps you in a lower vibrating energy. We want to release all of this anger, and that's not to make anger wrong, and I'm not taking anger away from you. You can access your anger anytime you need it. But this is helping you to release the excess anger. It's a lot easier on the nervous system. So first of all, we're going to go to the sixth chakra, out to that third layer. And so this is that powerless energy that you keep entertaining. You keep thinking, oh, we're powerless, we're victims. And so that's still going to continue to be true for a lot of people. The thing that you need to remember is that this is where we need to spend all of our focus. Notice how much of the energy that this 1% uses is designed to bring us out of our core, in everybody's business, telling everybody what they should do, what they shouldn't do. Everybody became experts over the last 2 years that they have now this right to tell everybody what to do and how to lead their life. That is completely backwards. So now your focus needs to go inward. If everyone focused here and took care of themselves, you'd be amazed at how much this will change society. So we go inward, we focus on healing ourselves, becoming stronger and more powerful in our energy, in our heart energy. And then when we come from this place of fullness, then we move out into the world. We can have a much greater effect because we're spreading this heart energy, love energy out into the world, which is exactly the counterbalancing energy for all of this oppressive energy on the planet. So that's how we can each do our part, is going inward, taking care of ourselves, putting on our gas mask first, and then going out to help others. Yes, you can also join us on Telegram. We are not on Instagram. We are on Telegram. And so I have kept saying I will do some more spontaneous kinds of posts, but hasn't happened too much yet, but I will. Onako, there are no stupid questions. So thank you for mentioning so, but there's no stupid questions. I live with her and she has so much fears. So I'm not quite sure what that means, but apparently you live with someone who is very afraid. So, yes. So, we all make choices, and you can have it be your intention and you don't have to know how it's going to happen. We hold intentions for what we desire. If you desire to live in an environment that's not fearful, hold that intention up in your crowns. You don't know how it's going to happen, but if you keep holding that intention as a master manifester, you will be able to create that. Just to validate what a creator you are, you have 50 rings. That's quite a significant number of rings. So you can create what you desire if you hold those intentions. And the rings, just so you know, they don't care what it creates. It's going to amplify everything. Thus the need to keep a pure, clear energy field, because otherwise it's going to amplify all these other things, all of the fear, all of the anger, all of the whatever it is you're holding in your space. So, yes, hold the intention for creating a safer environment for yourself where you're not living in fear, and spend less time with this person or at home. Get out in nature where we can be in present time and there is no fear. Out in nature, go hug a tree. So I'm curious, for those of you who have been on today's call, how you feel differently. How you feel differently than when we started. So here's someone who's saying she's really feeling the clearing. So tell us, what does that mean when you say, I feel the clearing? Do you feel calmer? Great topic. Would love to see it after a month. Like that would probably be a good idea to review this in a month. Yes, I think this is something that should be done on a regular basis. So come back and you can always listen to this again as a way to refresh this energy, share it with your friends so that we can continue to be in this high vibration that's fearless. Okay, so she lives with her mom. She's making me crazy. Thank you. You read me so well. Thank you, so kind. Yes. Yes. So maybe it's time for you to graduate from home and start stepping into your power, however that looks like. Start spending less time with your mom. If she's making you crazy, it's because there's a part of you that doesn't want to be there. There's a part of you that knows you shouldn't be there because it's not aligned with your highest and best interests. It's not bringing you closer to your goals. And so this is really less about your mom and more about you. So just remember that she's just your mirror. Yes, like and share this video. Please share it with others. And for those of you that are curious about your own energy field, today we were working on a lot of fear and anger and this 1% energy. But maybe you're curious if you have other things going on in your energy field. Why is your money vibration so low? Do you have people that are energetically courting to you, siphoning off your energy? There's so many things 50 different things we measure in this report. If you'd like to know what yours is, go ahead and check the report. And it comes with a 30-minute conversation where we can see if you were able to clear the energies that are in your report. And if not, then you can always, there's the vibrational report, yes. You can always see what possibilities exist for you to clear everything in your report in an hour and a half. You don't need to continue suffering. Suffering is now optional, in case you didn't get the memo. All right, friends, I'm curious what other things you've noticed as far as I will look more myself and try and go out more often. Yes. Jalpa says she feels good. Jerry, I feel very empowered and enlightened for sure. Thanks, Jerry. Anybody else? Kind of feel my horizon is a broader, more powerful, centered vision. Great. I love that description. Okay, great. Yeah, so notice if you have less fear in your body, if you're able to speak up more, if you're able to stand in your power. So you're going to be integrating, all of you are going to be integrating this over, let's see how many days. About 10 days. So we did a lot more work than you might realize. And so come back and listen to this again over these 10 days. It'll help anchor what we did, and it'll clear even that much more energies. So if you are susceptible to these energies of the 1%, of the fear entities, the control beings, the watcher energy, it just means that your energy field is still porous, that it's not fortified enough. So the more you can listen to these meditations and practice them, the stronger your energy field is going to get. So practice this over the weekend, share it with your friends, and we will see you back next Friday for some other inspiration to help you fortify your energy field. And keep asking my favorite question. How? How does it get any better than this? And then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. Sending so much love. Thank you for joining us all here, and we'll see you next week. Namaste.